It's 6:05, I'm calling the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of December 19th, 2024 to order. May we begin with roll call?
Yes, sir. Ronaldo Casares.
Present.
Cindy Iñárritu.
Here.
Michael Perdón.
Here.
Johnny Narvaez.
Present.
Jean Barbares.
Present.
Regina Portillo. Daniela Sada Paz. Adolfo G. Martinez. Hector J. Garcia. For the record, you do have a quorum.
Motion to excuse all those members not present?
Second. We have a motion, a second by Commissioner Barron, all in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item is election of officers. We don't have a full commission, so we have to move that for the next. Is that
That's correct. If you'd like to make a motion to table the item.
So moved, Mr. Chair. Let's table the item.
We have a motion. Second. And a second by Commissioner Jose Barron.
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just to be clear, did you want to table it to the
Answer,
next
next.
meeting? To the
Well-
very next meeting?
Are we not pending still,
They won't be seated until the second meeting in January.
then let's do it then.
But we don't know when they will appoint, you know?
After the new year, then.
Yeah, just do it after the first meeting of the year.
First meeting, okay.
So we have a motion amended to the first meeting of the new year. We had a second by Barron. All in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Moving on to consider approval of minutes of December 5th, 2024.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
We have a motion.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Barron. All in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Do we have any citizen comments, general comments?
No, sir.
Okay. Moving on to public hearing and recommendation of an ordinance.
Motion to open public hearing number 7A.
Second. Second by Commissioner Casas. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Item 7A is amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by rezoning Lot 7 and Lot 8, Block 2084, Eastern Division, located at 1802 and 1804 Milk Street from R3 Mixed Residential District to B1 Limited Business District.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, applicant is Juan Garcia and Willida Garcia, the owners. Griselda Ojeda is the representative of the property descriptions, lots 7 and 8, block 2084, Eastern Division, located at 1802 and 1804 Milk Street. The zone change request is from an R3 to a B1. The proposed use is for an auto body repair, paint, and body shop. Letter sent for 2140 against 0. Background: on November 6th of 2023, the City Council denied the zone change. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended denial of the proposed zone change, and staff did not support the application. Background citations: on August the 13th of 2024, the applicant was issued 3 citations from zoning enforcement. The citations include using lots as a vehicle holding yard in a residential zone, operating an auto repair, auto body shop, auto paint in a residential zone, using public property for commercial gain by storing and displaying vehicles on property owned by the city of Laredo. On May 6, 2024, the applicant was issued a citation from the zoning enforcement. The citation includes the following: operating an auto repair, auto body shop, auto paint in a residential zone. On January 25 of 2024, the applicant was issued a citation from zoning enforcement. The citation includes the following: operating an auto repair, auto body shop, auto paint in a residential zone. On June 1st of 2022, the applicant was issued a citation from the Department of Environmental. The citation includes the following: filling within the floodplain without approval. No person shall fill any land within the 100-year floodplain without obtaining written consent from the City of Laredo Floodplain Administrator for compliance. On April 28 of 2022, the applicant was issued 2 citations from the zoning enforcement. The citations include the following: using the lots as a vehicle holding yard in a residential zone, operating an auto repair, auto body shop, auto paint in a residential zone. Location view, aerial view, street view, zone change signage, zoning overview, future land use. Staff recommendations: staff does not support the proposed zone change and the proposed motion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Anyone who wishes to speak in favor of this item or against this item?
Pues,
Su nombre, por favor, por aquí.
¿Usted?
Su nombre, su,
Juan Elias Garcia.
okay.
Pues, I'm here again. I was here 6 months ago or a year, trying to get the zone change. I've been there for 2 years. When I bought the lot, it was under already a business lot. And then I bought the lots beside it. I bought some lots beside it, and pues it was trash and all ugly, so I cleaned it up, and then they gave me a ticket for cleaning it. And then the one here in the, I don't know, the one here in the front, was I cleaned, that wasn't mine, right?
You can put it on that, little device right there.
Así?
Sí.
We're upside down.
No, ahorita
Ahorita lo enseño.
they'll,
And, but the front, even Border Patrol every day, every morning, because a lot of people would pass through there, and there was a little, like a little dirt road, right? And they asked me to clean it up a little bit before they can go down with the vehicles. Okay, see, the one with the big roof, that's the two lots I bought right there, and then here in the front was era como monte y trash, ¿verdad? And then the Border Patrol always go in the helicopter. Yes, they just asked me to clean a little bit, y pues I cleaned a lot. Right? Yes, the lots over here on the side, those lots over there, I bought these two lots right here. It was all trees and was, trash and uneven. Y pues when I bought them, I didn't know that I couldn't live on them out. Yes, and then I cleaned that, and then beside it was a trailer, and I bought that lot, and I cleaned it out. And then this is my shop right here, one with the big roof. Yeah, but there's another body shop behind me on the big street. We had no street back there, we just had like a little callejon. And there's two other shops in front of, on the main street. They do the same thing, whether they're legal or not legal, I don't know, ¿verdad?
right.
But I'm just trying to do, comply and do whatever I gotta do to do it the right way and get all the permissions.
When you purchased the properties, were you aware that the zoning that the properties were under were for residential, not for business?
It's the first property I ever bought. It was already, if you look it up right now, sale lighting up, a company named Lighting It Up. Light It Up. It was a lighting company that would do all the lighting and stuff for like the dollar stores and stuff like that. Did I check the zoning or know anything about the zoning? No. But if you Google it, it still comes up under the Light It Up company. So I thought it was commercial. I mean, that's what I bought it for.
Right.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did you buy this like a for sale by owner, or did you buy this from a realty company? Did you use a
Facebook.
realtor?
On Facebook.
You what?
On Facebook, on the, what do you call it, marketplace.
Okay. Okay.
Are there any other questions for the?
Yeah. So that, when you got there, was already used as another business, is that right?
Right.
And then,
The corner lot in the house, just that.
and, do you know, is the B1 zoning what you need for an auto body repair? Is that what he?
I can answer that. No.
They told me this.
For his proposed use, in the base zone that he would need would be a B4. This zone is being pursued in conjunction with the CUP that follows this. So he would need at the minimum the B1 in order to pursue a conditional use permit for the B4 use, which is the auto body repair requires a B4.
Because under the current R3, right, it's an R3?
Yes.
He doesn't apply, he can't get a CUP because it's too.
That's correct.
All right,
That is correct.
okay.
And I just had one neighbor, and 6 months ago, or a year ago when I did it, but we had some problems with that. Pero, I mean, now we're good, we're cool, so, last time she came in, I don't know if it was this meeting or, it was a meeting, and she spoke against me with that. After I helped her, paint her car and change the motor on her car. but, I didn't know she had problems with it, pero ya, she's not gonna speak against me, and that's the only neighbor I have.
That warehouse that you showed, was that already there existing, or did you build it?
The, which one?
The existing building that you said you have on the property, was that already there, or you built it?
There was only, one half of the roof. The big roof right here, where I put the solar panels,
Uh-huh.
by allá, that roof was there. I made the, cause I bought the lot, when I bought it from the guy, it was just one lot, right? And it was a fence, and it was a whole bunch of trash, and, parked vehicles, and RV trailers, and, dump trucks, and, Caterpillars. I asked him if he knew who it was, the owner. He said, yeah, this dude from Houston. So we called him, and because it had no water, no drainage, no sewers, no nothing. You know, he called him, he sold it to me like real cheap. And then I made the roof for it, you know, not to work in the sun. And, pues, yeah. And right now I'm trying to get the city, because you see this big parking lot here? That's the city's. Right there. And I came last week, and I've been trying to talk to him to try to rent it or lease it, because pues, I buy cars and I sell cars. Y pues they run and drive. Y pues, I shouldn't be parking them there, but pues, we parked them there. But they went, and they told me not to move everything, because they were going to go with the record. So right now, there's nothing there.
Okay. I have a question for staff. So currently, he's requesting a B1, which is the lowest,
That's
use.
not-
And at that point, you do not, the staff does not support the
No.
B1 use, so
No,
not even in that
no.
area.
No, we don't. Unfortunately, we were not able, and for all the usual reasons, it is not in conformity with the comprehensive plans designation for this area. As you can see, it's a large area of R3. Aside from the uses, the auto body uses, which have also been cited, because they're all operating in R3 zoning districts, the area is predominantly residential. So, for all of those reasons, we were unable to support.
Is Melca Paper Street through there, to the back, of the rear of the property, or what?
That is correct. It is a street, however, it is not improved.
No, they just threw, ever since we've been there, yeah, they just threw some blacktop about 2-3 months ago. People have, yeah.
I know you're trying to make an honest living, you're trying to do the best you can. The properties you purchased, unfortunately, my stance, what happens is, the zonings that are done are there to protect, the residents around the area. And there's sort of rules and that they kind of have to abide by. And, it's a very difficult, situation,
So,
I don't know if the commission has any other
I do.
comments or questions.
Mr. Chairman, I have a
Yes.
question for the applicant. Sir, when you were clearing the other lot, you said it was uneven. Who did that for you? Did you hire a contractor, or did you do that yourself?
me,
You did it yourself. You didn't get a permit, you didn't ask whether it was okay to do that? Because you're in a floodplain, from what I can see on a couple of these. You basically disturbed enough dirt to cover up a creek, in that area, and you got a citation for that. What became of the citation? That question is for staff. The citation that he got from environmental, has that been adjudicated as
No,
well?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'd have to check with municipal court to see what happened.
Because
as
you
far as
have
this-
some notes in here, some of them, he's on payment plans for some of the fines. He's got a court date set for the first of the year. But he's pled no contest to a couple of these, and that is either on a payment plan or paid the fines.
I've been paying
If he's
for
on
a
a
long
payment
time.
plan, then those have been adjudicated.
Right. And then he's got one, the one from environmental does not show an adjudication to it. Just shows that he got a citation for it. Because oftentimes when you do things like that, because the Corps of Engineer might get involved, there is movement of dirt that needs to be, they need to pull that back out, free the channel to allow flow of water and those things. I don't see that that's been done.
But there's no creek or flow of water, there's just a big old hole. Where the green trees were at, I mean, the Chapon Creek is like 4 or 5 blocks down. These were, that's Milk Street.
I know the way you see it, sir, but there's an overlay that the federal government has, and the city has to manage that as part of the floodplain management,
Okay,
that requires you not to disturb that without some type of an engineering plan that says, okay, we can move this amount of dirt, you need to carve it this way, because water tends to flow that way when it rains. And so that's one of the reasons why they issued you that citation, because you were disturbing the creek area, the flood zone, without permission and without a plan.
Okay.
So the second, and,
There's no creek.
can staff, can you put that up there? There's, the National Flood Hazard Layer Fermet. Can you put that on there for him?
Can you go back to that section? I think it's in the packet.
It's in the packet.
It's in the packet, it's not on the
Oh, you don't
PowerPoint.
have it in the presentation?
No.
Yeah, could you?
Of course.
Yeah.
Where the trees are at, there's a house beside it, a house in front of it, and another house beside it. So I don't know how they say it's a creek. Where's that water go?
They're gonna show you in a second. It's,
Because the lot that I bought, no, I didn't ask permission, nothing. I mean, I found the lady, and I called her, and I talked to her, and bought the lot from her.
and I think it's important for the public to know that these things exist. And so when you do buy a tract of land, that this is something that, a reason why a lot of folks go to either staff and ask them, hey, this is what I'm gonna buy. What are my entitlements? What can I do here? What can't I do here? Or they hire an engineer or a consultant that says, hey, look, you've got these things that are here that could impact what you can use this property for. And on this one, even though the creek is about 4 blocks from what I can tell, maybe 300 feet, maybe a little further, that whole area is still in what's called the floodway, in the flood zone.
The creek, you're talking about the Chacon Creek, or right there where all those little green trees are at?
All the little green trees, which eventually lead to the river, from what I can tell. There. Up on the screen.
Right here. So you've got the floodway, the floodplain. So, and the site is right here, so it is within the
And
flood
so to disturb that land, you would have had to get a permit, and an engineering study to go with that. So moving it on your own was the violation that they hit you with. Mr. Chairman, my
Yes.
concern is that he still has, he pled not guilty, so he has a court date in January. And maybe it's not in our best interest to try to tackle this request until there's some adjudication of that particular case as well. Plus, what was the council's reasoning for denying it in the first place? Just because he came in and asked for a higher zone originally? I mean, this is the second bite at the apple.
I don't remember, what their reasoning was. I believe the council member in that district may have been in favor at the time, however, the rest of the council was opposed. If I remember correctly,
That
right?
is correct, yes.
Do you own, there's an AC service, is that your property too, or is that someone else?
Monday?
There's an AC service on
That's somebody
Gate Street,
That's not me.
that's not yours?
No.
On the corner of, what is this?
Gates and Buena Vista.
Gates in Buena Vista? No?
No, that's not me. No, I never go. There's no way,
Pero hay un negocio ahí de aires acondicionados
sí, pero yeah, that's not mine.
de alguien
No,
más.
I'm to the back in the monte. I don't have
We
a,
have another
and I have nothing with Gate
Right.
Street.
For the record, we did, while we were analyzing this case, we did notice those, and zoning enforcement has gone out there and issued citation to those locations.
Right, cause yeah. And I noticed that you guys gave a mail out, and you sent 21 letters out, and not one person opposed this business.
The only one that came
That
last
is
year?
correct.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we got some information and,
That neighbor?
no, at least, I don't know if anyone's here, we've only spoken in favor, right? I don't know if anyone's here to speak
Nobody's
against.
come back to oppose it, so it's a good thing
No.
for you.
We already agreed. I'm gonna get a loan and buy her out. I'm trying to get a loan and,
By her.
By, yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing. Anyone who wishes to speak in favor or against this item can come forward. Yeah.
Motion to close the, public hearing and support staff's recommendation not to support the zone change.
We have a motion, Commissioner Belmontes. Do we have a second?
Is there any options that we can give him since he's already purchased this land? There's other businesses there, there's a,
I mean, the only other alternative is to directly ask for the B4 zone. That is pretty much it. Which would be more difficult. This is the more, has more of a possibility of approval. Because the base zone would only change to the B1 with the overlay allowing the B4 use.
he doesn't have a neighbor, he's purchased the other lot, there's businesses there, so.
Well, as I said, it is all an R3 district. Aside from the uses that are illegal, it's all predominantly residential in that area. They have been using the property in violation of a number of rules.
They also cleaned it up.
The comprehensive
there's a lot of
plan
trash.
designates, pardon me,
They
the
also
comprehensive
cleaned
plan.
it up and everything, you know, I
Well,
just
they
feel like.
cleaned up an area that they probably shouldn't have. The creek area, which disturbs the water flow. So we're waiting to see what that will, the consequences of filling a creek. It disturbs the water flow and drainage can be seriously affected.
There was a motion, but there was no second, so is there another motion?
I feel that, in my opinion, maybe wait for the hearing in January to see how it is that they're gonna fix that. And I honestly feel like there should be some sort of option. It's a person conducting business, I don't know, like, how can we help?
This is the option. This is it.
Is there any, I'm gonna ask you, is there any difference whether we wait or take action?
The hearing, the citation has no bearing on staff's decision. He's gonna either get on a payment plan, or even if it gets dismissed, you know, there's different reasons why things get dismissed, but I don't think that's gonna affect staff's position on this, so.
Is there, Mr. Chairman, is there a chance that the other item regarding the flood zone gets attention and winds up having an impact in what he's doing? Now, on top of that, he was parking on city property without permission. He moved dirt without permission, without all the proper permits. These are all things that impact the neighborhood. The amount of traffic that is increased to a business in the middle of the neighborhood, that's another concern that I have. And while I feel for the fact that he's made all these investments in an effort to build a business, he's built it in the wrong spot. And there are cases like this that come before us on a regular basis. And our goal is to, one, facilitate these as best we can, but we also have to protect the neighborhoods, and that's part of our task. And in this case, the neighborhood's gonna be impacted negatively by all of the traffic, the noise, the activity in and of itself. And then there are still things that need to be addressed beyond that, if he's gonna continue to use that property for business. Parking, the structure itself, the containment of the paints, the paint booths that he has, all those things will be part of a building permit or an occupancy permit that comes down the road when he gets this. I mean, he's got a long way to go to get here, and I applaud his efforts in trying to get his neighbors to help him, but he's in the middle of the neighborhood. This is a tough one for us for me at least.
Yes.
Can we postpone till the end of the meeting, this item? Because I'd like to see the conditions, that are in place that we're recommending.
That is up to.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to move this till the end of the meeting.
Second.
So we have a motion, a second, to move this item to the end of the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. So you want to hear item 7B at the end as well?
Yeah, also, yeah, let's hear before this one though.
Okay, correct.
I'd like to make a motion to move item 7B before this one.
We have a motion,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cantu. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Moving on to,
Mo-
yes.
Motion to open public hearing 7C.
We have a motion to open up public hearing number, item 7C. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Caceres. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Item 7C is amending the zoning ordinance map of the City of Laredo by rezoning Lot 4, Block 848, Eastern Division, located at 1519 East San Pedro Street from B1 Limited Business District to B3 Community Business District.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, we have A&M Automotive Repair LLC as the owner. Property location is Lot 4, Block 848, Eastern Division, located at 1519 East San Pedro Street. Zone request is from a B1 to B3. Proposed uses for an auto dealer, primarily used. Letters sent for 21, we have none for and none against. Background on this property: on April 20th, 2017, City Council made a motion to approve the conditional use permit for a used car lot. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the proposed conditional use permit, and staff supported the application. Location view, aerial view, street view, zone change signage, zonings map, future land use map, and the recommendation is staff supports, and the proposed motion.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Anyone who wishes to speak in favor of this item?
Hello. Yes, I bought this property.
Your name for the record. Your name for the record.
Luis Aguillon. I'm the owner. Yes, I bought this property in July, but since it's my first property I bought, I didn't know about the B1 and the B3. And when I applied for my dealer license, they were asking me for a occupancy, and it needs to be a B3, so I can get that occupancy. Well, that's it. It was recently used for a dealership there, but I think they had a SUP. We're gonna use it for the same thing. So that's it.
Are there any questions?
Yes, when you had an SUP, you never had any issues on off-street parking?
It wasn't mine. Someone else.
But do you know if they had any issues?
No, any issues.
No?
He was there for 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have, how long have you been doing this business there?
I haven't done any business there.
Yeah.
It's empty right now. I bought it and just left it empty until I had all my permits.
Okay, got it. But you know, last time when he had the SUP, there was no issues there?
No issues at all.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there any other questions for the applicant? Thank you.
All right.
This is a public hearing. Anyone who wishes to speak in favor or against this item?
Motion to close the public hearing and recommend support of the proposed zone change.
We have a motion and a second by Commissioner Cantu. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Moving on to item 7D.
Motion to put public hearing 7D.
We have a motion. Second by Commissioner Caceres. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 7D, amending the zoning ordinance map of the City of Laredo by rezoning approximately 3.8 acres located east of Bob Bullock Loops and south of Date Palm Drive from R1 Single Family Residential District to R2 Multifamily Residential District.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, the applicant is Charcoal Land Sales LLC as the owner, Radcliffe Killam as the applicant, and Orlando Navarro as a representative. The property description: approximately 3.8 acres located east of Bob Bullock Loop and south of Date Palm Drive. The zone change request is from an R1 to an R2. The proposed use is for apartments, letter sent 28, and inside 4, 0, against 0, but for the outside, we have 1 for against. The location view, the aerial map, the street view, the zone change signage, zoning overview, future land use. Staff supports the proposed zone change
Thank you.
and the proposed motion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Anyone wish to speak in favor? Or against, yes.
Good evening. My name is Rosie Maya. I'm actually one of the owners on Date Palm, and I am against this one. I received in the mail that they plan to do like an apartment complex, which is primarily commercial. So my thing is the property values being stagnant or decreasing the property values. Also privacy, such as like aerial, like being able to see in our backyards, right? Noise, trash, let's see. I know not all apartment complexes deal with this, but some deal with roaches and rodents, and that's something that I don't want to have in my backyard, and I'm sure my neighbors don't either. What else? I do believe that they should, if they want to build, maybe a single family residence would be fine, but a commercial use would be, I don't know, like just noisy, and I don't want my property value to go down.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
I had a question for staff. So this is one of those cases where the zoning's coming in before the planning, right? As far as, or is there a plat for this area already? Or a master plan for this area?
There's a master plan.
It's already master plan.
That's correct.
And then I noticed a roadway there, Clear Choice Drive. Is that there already?
It's under construction.
It's under construction right now. And would this be the way this property is going to access this area?
I think it's from Clear Choice. I think we looked at it. They're gonna access from Clear Choice.
Clear Choice here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, do they know how many units they're going to do?
No, they haven't identified that. Did the application say specifically apartments? It's an apartments?
Yes.
I get that was one of the things that, of course, the R2 allows for apartments, for duplexes, for single family as well.
Mhm.
So, so all of those uses, with regard to staff, this is, it is in line with the majority of the designation, under the comprehensive plan that allows for mixed uses. It's abutting a huge R2 area to the east of it and south of it. So it was,
Correct, but there's like a buffer there to be able to help those neighbors out, you know, especially all those neighbors on Date Palm, to be able to have, and maybe, I'm sure the developer's considering that, to be able to do something where there's space between the back of those neighborhoods and this R2, which potentially could be, like you mentioned, right, could be townhomes where it wouldn't be as significant of an impact, if you have a 4-story apartment complex, right, that overseeing their backyards. But,
Is that an easement that's separating the back of the end of the Date Palm and the part that, I guess, outlining?
I'm gonna see if I can try and bring it up.
we're gonna
Okay.
look for it.
It's a pipeline. The pipeline back there.
so, I'd make a motion if, I don't know if the applicant is here, or the developers are here to,
I don't see Mr.
I'll make a motion that we postpone this item time certain, like that we can get some more answers to these questions, and then it will help the neighbors and the commission make a more informed decision.
Second.
So, yeah, I believe there's no other comments. So, yeah, so if you want to,
Make that motion, time certain, postpone.
okay, so we have a motion to postpone time certain, this item.
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Bermudez. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. So it's been postponed for the next meeting.
Will we know a day?
You will get noticed, just like you did.
No, we
Nope.
don't. When it's item, when they're table time certain, or even tabled, we're not required to notice.
But they have a website that they can go to and check to see the items on the agenda and.
Well, the agenda will be posted, for
We
sure.
determine-
Just check the
Next meeting.
website.
Go ahead and just determine the, can we bring it back at the first meeting? Just,
That's our next meeting, is the first meeting.
yeah.
of
Which would
January.
be January 2nd?
That is correct.
So you won't get noticed, but January 2nd would be the. Okay, now moving on to review and consideration of the following master plan. Item 8A is review the revision of the D&J Alexander subdivision master plan. The intent is commercial and residential. The purpose of the revision is to incorporate the Arthur Miller Court extension and reconfigure lots in phase 15.
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is TJ Alexander Investments, Engineers Premier Engineering and Survey. The proposed use is commercial and residential. Zoning for this master plan development is R1, B1, B3, B4. Location view, aerial view, the revised master plan, staff comments planning, and the proposed motion.
Thank you. Engineer?
Good afternoon. My name is Cristina Gutierrez with Premier Engineering. I'm here to answer any questions or concerns with the master plan.
Are there any questions for Mr. Gutierrez? No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to approve, subject to staff comments.
We have a motion and a second by Commissioner Blanes. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. We're now moving on to consideration of the following preliminary plats and preliminary replats. Item 9A is preliminary consideration of the plat of Los Presidentes East Subdivision Phase 5. The intent is residential.
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is Hilltop Farm, Engineers Holland Engineering and Surveying Company. Proposed use is residential. The zoning for this 13-lot development is R1A. Location view, aerial view, the proposed plat, staff comments planning, and the proposed motion.
Thank you.
Good evening, Dana Vita with Howland Engineering, and we concur with staff comments.
Thank you.
Motion to approve, subject to staff comments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Commissioner Cáceres. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Moving on to consideration of the following preliminary and final plats. Item 10A is preliminary and final consideration of the plat of Copper Creek subdivision Phase 6. The intent is residential. The proposed action is approval.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
We have a motion by Commissioner Blanes, second by Commissioner Cáceres. All in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Moving on to consideration of an extension of the following preliminary plats and preliminary replats. Item 11A is consideration of a 6-month extension to the preliminary plat approval of Islitas subdivision Phase 1. Intent is residential. The request is to extend the scheduled expiration date from March 15th, 2025 to September 15th, 2025.
Motion to approve the extension.
We have a motion by Commissioner Blanes, second by Commissioner Cantu. All in favor?
Aye.
Again?
For the record, it's Commissioner Barron.
I'm sorry, Barron. What did I say?
That's Balmares,
I'm sorry.
Barron, familiar. Sounds the same, yeah.
Thank you for the
I
correction.
think those are like, there's been like 2 or 3. But staff's got it, right?
Staff's got it. The record, for the record.
For the
For the record,
For
staff,
the record.
they got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. So now we're moving on to consideration of the subdivision, model subdivision compliance. Item 12A is consideration of model rules subdivision compliance of the plat of Village South subdivision Phase 3. The intent is residential. Proposed action is,
Motion to approve.
Second.
all right, so we got motion by Commissioner Blanes, second by Commissioner Barron. All in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries.
Motion to bring back item 7A for public hearing.
Actually, it's gonna be, you wanted to hear 7B first.
7B
First?
7B.
You wanted to hear? Is that correct?
7B, sorry,
7B.
7B. I'm sorry, it was 7B, 7B.
So 7B is, amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by authorizing the issuance of a conditional use permit for an auto body repair, paint and body shop on lot 7 and lot 8, block 2084, Eastern Division, located at 1802 and 1804 Milk Street.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, applicant is Juan Garcia, Willida Garcia. Owner is Garcia Ojeda, is the representative. Property description, lots 7 and 8. Block 2084, Eastern Division, located at 1802, 1804 Milk Street. Zone change request is a conditional use permit. The current zoning is R3, and the applicant has applied for a B1 zoning district. The proposed use is for an auto body repair, paint, and body shop. Letter sent 2140 against 0. Background is that on November 6th of 2023, the City Council tabled the conditional use permit due to the denial of the zone change. Planning and Zoning Commission recommended denial of the proposed conditional use permit, and staff did not support the application. The citation.
I'm sorry, let me just interrupt. The reason why they tabled it and why they could no longer consider it is because once that base zone of B1 was denied, the applicant becomes ineligible for them to even apply for that CUP. So that's why it was not under consideration any longer. Okay, just so everybody understands.
Background or the citations as read before. Citation was on August 13 of 2024. 3 citations were issued from zoning enforcement on May 6 of 2024. Applicant was issued a citation from zoning enforcement on January 25th of 2024. The applicant was issued a citation from zoning enforcement on June 1st of 2022. The applicant was issued a citation from the Department of Environmental. And on April 28th of 2022, the applicant was issued 2 citations from zoning enforcement. Location view, aerial view, street view, conditional use permit signage, zoning overview, future land use. Staff recommendations, staff does not support the proposed conditional use permit. This is a continuation of the recommendation where it has additional comments and general comments. And the proposed motion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
I don't know if staff can read the proposed comments and conditional use permit conditions for the, I guess, for the public to hear also, as well as what those are.
First, wait 1 second, because the conditions are not on the PowerPoint, so let me pull them up on the packet.
You have the packet? You want to read them?
Sure.
Is that the packet?
Yes,
Okay, can you read them all?
absolutely. If approved, staff suggests the following conditions. 1, the conditional use permit is restricted to the site plan, Exhibit A, which is made a part hereof for all purposes. The hours of operation shall be limited to Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Lighting of the property shall be screened to avoid adverse impact on adjacent residential neighborhoods. Landscaping shall be provided and maintained for the complete duration in accordance with the City of Laredo Land Development Code. The owner shall provide an opaque fence or wall of not less than 7 feet in height along any side or rear property lines which abut or adjoin property containing a residential use or residential zoning district. Apartment complexes, residential condominiums, or residential townhomes shall be similarly screened irrespective of which zoning district they occur in. The establishment must make provisions to keep litter to a minimum and to keep it from blowing onto adjacent streets and properties. Signage shall be consistent with the city's sign ordinance. Off-street parking shall be provided in accordance with the City of Laredo Land Development Code. The proposed use shall not exceed the occupant load as set forth in the certificate of occupancy with occupant load issued to the CUP business holder. The proposed use shall, during all hours of operation, maintain, free from obstruction or impediment to full instant use in the case of fire or other emergency, all exit accesses, exits, or exit discharges. The proposed use shall undergo an annual fire inspection. All permits, licenses, certifications, and inspections required by the code and its ordinances of the City of Laredo shall be kept up to date and current, including but not limited to A, food manager license, B, food handler's permit, certificate of occupancy with occupant load being the approved capacity of a building or portion thereof. Owner shall comply with the building, health, safety, fire, environmental, and all applicable codes and regulations required. The establishment shall be kept in a sanitary condition. The establishment shall follow proper protocols in handling and disposing of hazardous waste. No hazardous material shall be stored on site. Hazardous occupancy and the storage of hazardous material shall be prohibited on the premises. The determination of a hazardous occupancy or material shall be made by the fire chief as per the Land Development Code, section 24.73D. Hazardous material shall be defined as stated in the City of Land Development Code ordinances, section 33-20. The establishment shall store automotive fuel, lubricant, and fluids, material, equipment, and auto parts in proper storage areas within the property. Storage on the property of any structure is prohibited. Storage outside the property boundaries is prohibited. The display or storage of vehicles shall be kept within the property boundaries. Parking, displaying, or storing vehicles on city property is prohibited. Floodplain development permit shall be obtained and approved by the floodplain administrator prior to operation. The repair of truck, heavy equipment, recreational vehicles shall be prohibited. Each lot shall have either direct access to an improved public street or access by a private driveway access easement which shall be a minimum of 20 feet in width and no longer than 150 feet in depth. The approval of the conditional use permit does not guarantee the issuance of the building permit, and the use authorized by this conditional permit is required to be abide by all relevant municipal codes.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. This is the item for the conditional use permit that we had brought back. Are there any other questions or for staff or any comments, or did you want to hear from the applicant again?
Is it possible to add an additional condition, where they must come back for like a renewal or to reapply for it in 3 years, just because of all the violations that have
Yeah, an
happened?
expiration,
Yeah.
you can recommend, the addition of a condition to add an expiration date.
Like add an expiration date like that if they follow all the conditions, right? Which they seem to be, pretty strict, which is the right thing, especially being in this area. And if for any reasons there's any conditions that are not made, we'll be able to take another bite at this apple.
The reason typically they don't implement expiration is because once this is allowed, right, they give the conditional use permit, the understanding is that the business owner is gonna be investing in their property, right? And so the exposure to now they've made all this investment into this location, to continue operating, to maximize their revenue, and then now they come back, and for whatever reason, there's whatever
Right.
the case may
They
be,
didn't follow some of the
then,
conditions.
now we have to pursue the revocation procedures. Or it just expires and then they have to come back through the political process. So yes, to answer your question, yes, you can make a recommendation to add an expiration. However, those are some of the considerations that council will look at.
Right, but ultimately, it's our recommendation like that. I
Yeah.
feel based on some of these violations that this property's already had.
Mr. Chairman, but that would certainly open up the city, if there was a revocation or a process for revocation, could open up the city to an inverse condemnation. Right, he's made all these investments in there and all of a sudden he can't operate anymore because he's either violated the ordinances or the conditions and he can't cure them, so.
Yeah,
that's the
what
only
would
concern I
happen
have.
is, it wouldn't be necessarily a revocation, but rather it expires. So it would be incumbent upon the applicant, they would have to come back through, reapply to re-secure the conditional use permit, in order to either extend it or reissue it, so that they could continue operating.
With regard, Mr. Chairman, for staff, with item number 19, they would have to go out and get a permit from the floodplain administrator to develop that property to continue to use it.
They would need for any additional, improvements that they're making. Of course, this is in the floodplain, so they need to get those permits. Continued operation, they need to visit with the floodplain administrator, and he or she will make those determinations of what's necessary based on the existing structures.
So there could be additional conditions that arise from that.
That's the thing, and that's why we made sure to add that language. The approval of the conditional permit does not guarantee the issuance of building permits, because there are other requirements that are necessary other than just what we've mentioned here. It's what we try to do is capture to the best of our ability all the things that the applicant should be aware of with regard to, but it doesn't, the conditional use permit doesn't absolve or grant variance to any of the codes pertaining to the use that we haven't specifically mentioned. I don't know if that makes sense.
Can you let me know what are they, I guess in a B1, let's just say for some reason the CUP doesn't happen, they get granted a B1, what are the more, I guess, intense uses of a
If he
B1?
wanted to, well, a gas station, but if he were to get, if he were to sort of limit the use to, what is it called under the code? Light automotive repair, it's called minor automotive repair. That is a B1 type use. Minor automotive repair are changing tires, oil changes. So you would be prohibited from dropping transmissions, doing any welding, the paint, the sort of things that you might get done at your average gas station or those light sort of
Jiffy Lube
repairs.
kind of places?
Jiffy Lube type repairs. Something that's quick, that's not, doesn't involve a lot of noise, a lot of the ratcheting, and definitely not the transmission, or the paint. So that would be allowed in a B1 type use. I guess probably the most egregious thing that would be allowed in the B1 would be maybe gas station. What else? Unfortunately, it seems like one of the most is the of course in a B1 you would need a restaurant serving alcohol seems to be somewhat of a nuisance these days.
Yeah.
This
You
is,
know?
the situation for me is that staff's not supporting this, even at a B1. The second thing is, his properties, even though he's purchasing the surrounding neighbors, he's still smack dab in the middle of the R3.
Oh, the R3?
If he was at the corner or close to the B3, it could be a consideration, but the fact that he's still smack dab in the middle and surrounding neighbors, it's just very hard, from my aspect to even, consider or support, but.
Because they would still have to climb the ladder of the B1, right? They're in R3.
For the gas station or any of the B1 uses, he could apply for a conditional use permit. So he wouldn't need.
If he had a B1.
If in the current zone.
In the current R3? He
He could ask for a conditional use permit for the B1 type use.
Okay.
And that's why if he limited his uses to minor automotive repair, then, he would be eligible to apply for a conditional use permit.
But to do what he wants to do now, he would have to apply for the B3.
For the major automotive repair that includes the paint and welding and all of that, it is considered a B4 use. So that's why you need that base B1 zone and to work in conjunction with the CUP overlay.
Got it.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question for staff.
Sure.
On number 19 of the conditions, the floodplain, does the city have a floodplain administrator?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. They're in building services.
Building
So he would go and visit our offices,
Okay.
but he's in building development services.
Okay, I didn't know there was a state.
On the map?
Who's your administrator now? It's,
Miguel Hernandez?
Oh, Miguel. Okay.
Miguel, yeah.
Do we have to take on the zone change first for the conditional permit, or conditional CUP, or can we take action on the CUP and then the zone change?
I think just to be on the safe side, we would probably want action on the B1 first, and then action on the conditional use permit.
I'd like to make a motion, then I have to make a motion to close this one, and then go to the.
That's legal, just to make sure. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I mean, as it stands, what he's asking for, yeah, we need to take action on it before that.
Because we opened for the CUP, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd make a motion to close the conditional use permit item.
Okay, we have a motion?
To close the public hearing.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
And then I'd like to make the motion to open the public hearing for the B1 7A item.
We have a motion by Commissioner Barron, second Commissioner Garces. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 7A is amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by rezoning Lot 7 and Lot 8, Block 2084, Eastern Division located at 1802 and 1804 Milk Street from R3 Mixed Residential District to B1 Limited Business District.
Do I
Do we,
reread the?
No, we've already gone
Already
through
read
it.
it.
okay.
Just call for the, public hearing.
Yes.
For anybody wants to.
Yeah, so this is a public hearing. I don't know if you would like to say a few more words before we move to discussion or vote.
What is happening, is it good or bad?
Nothing's happened yet.
Nothing
So
happened?
it's a public hearing, so you have every right to say a few more words or anything as far as.
Okay, I don't make a lot of noise and I'm noisy, and if I gotta close early, I close early.
State your name again, I'm sorry. for the record.
Johnny Garcia. Johnny Garcia. We don't make a lot of noise. We do work to like 7 or 8. I don't have a lot of neighbors. I'm not in the middle. I'm not in the middle of everything because I got a car lot on Meadow, right there on Gates. And Meadow, I have a little car lot where I'm renting it, and I sell the cars. I was gonna rent the one this guy trying to get approved for him, but it was too expensive. Down the street on Meadow. And right there across the street from my little car lot, they have a paint and body. That's in the middle. That has houses all the way around it, and that's a paint and body. You know what I mean? I'm way in the back. I don't even have a street, so there's no traffic going in or out.
So we can get a visual. Is there any way we can turn this on so I can show them what you're talking about?
It's okay. It's okay. And I'm in the back.
The commission has maps. They have tons of maps of the location.
Okay.
I have no traffic. It's a dead end. I'm the one. I'm the only one that goes in and out, and the neighbor.
Sure, yeah,
And I do want to change oil because I don't know. I thought I mean, I want to comply and do everything. I got to do the right way and the wrong way. I don't want no fines. I don't want no problems. I don't want to get on nobody's bad side. But I was planning on getting this done, and I was gonna have all the border patrols service their trucks. That's my plan.
Jesse, have you looked at where we're considering a B1, but even though you get a zone change for B1, the city's still asking of conditions on your hours, the lighting, permits that you're gonna have to get, with these rules, I guess, that you're gonna have to follow. Even though you get the B1, right, let's just say, and we still have to consider what is called a conditional use permit, which is really rules that your property has to follow in order to conduct the business, right? And within those rules, there are different things that the city is asking of. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at that because
the one she was talking, the one he's read.
yeah, the ones that they read.
I'll do it. I mean, if I have to do it, I'll do it. If every other business complies and has to do them, I'll do them too. I got lighting. I got a lot of lighting. I got a lot of. I got like 52 solar panels. I got a lot of light. The light bill is expensive, and I have to. I can try to put some more.
No, it's not about putting more solar screens. You have to look at the conditions to make sure that you're able to abide by them.
Oh.
And make sure that if we're, that's something you would have to do for consideration of.
I'll do it. I mean, if I have to do it, I'll do it. And there's no traffic. It's a lot better. I mean, you know what I mean? I lived there for 2 years. Every day the helicopter was there. Every morning and afternoon.
Not
every
even
day.
the helicopter. They had border patrol going.
State your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Leah Garcia. I'm the applicant's daughter.
It was bad.
It was really bad. So as for the safety of the residents, how you had mentioned earlier, there was border patrol every single night, multiple times a night, going over 50 just to get these people. For a federal agency to ask him if he could clear it out, that as we saw earlier.
Not
right?
clear it out, but make it up.
Make a better, cleaner way for them to be able to visualize everything. I mean, that's kind of like the deal.
And they used to go every day. Now they go like once every 2 weeks. They don't even go.
They don't even show anymore because there's nowhere for people to hide. There's a lot less traffic there. If we were speaking on traffic as well, and if we exit the what's the street?
Gates.
Gates in the street.
Metal.
So on Meadow, every single establishment there is a business. Also on Gates as well. It's business house, and here, so if we're worried about neighbors,
I have no.
he has one, and she's.
But I will comply. I mean, whatever y'all say. I mean, I can get it done. I mean, it'll take some time, right? But,
And as for the flooding as well, I mean, we don't want the business, we don't want to be underwater. So everything was built as, like, with the, how do you say? At an angle as well, so there's no flooding, I mean,
no hay agua.
there's no
I mean, we're
water.
from Zapata, there's no water, so before we get a flood, I mean, it's gonna.
And the safety of the residents and everything, this all was a dumping ground for the whole,
I cleaned a lot.
a lot.
Batteries, discs, hileras. And they were,
Sofas, tires, this was a dumping ground. This was, so it was very underdeveloped and very neglected area, to say the least.
Thank you. Thank you.
but whatever needs to be done, I'll do my best to do it.
Are there any questions for staff?
I would love to help, see how we can help, if it can be conditional, if it can be on a time sensitive, like,
If you want to make a motion, see how the commission, I mean, make a motion, see.
I would make a motion to approve and
Second.
So you're making a motion to support the zone change.
correct.
And we have a second by Commissioner Barron. All in favor?
Aye.
Against?
What's the,
Three.
I'm sorry.
Three?
3-2.
The two. So that's,
So the motion fails.
motion fails?
Correct, right?
Motion fails,
Motion
correct.
fails.
Need a majority of the members present.
It's 3 against 2, how is it? Okay.
There was 3 in favor of the
Were
zone.
you in favor or against?
In favor.
Oh, then
It passed.
Oh, you were in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
motion passed.
Oh, then, yes.
So the motion passed to recommend the zone change to city council. Okay, so it will go to city council for final approval.
Would you like to entertain the?
Now we have to entertain the next item, which is a conditional use permit. So we're gonna move on to, does someone wanna move on to item 7B? Open up,
Open item 7B, motion? Second.
yeah, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Do I have to reread 7B or do I have to reread it?
No, it's already been read.
Okay.
You can make the motion that you want to make.
Right. I would ask the commission to consider adding an additional comment of giving a 3-year, I guess, I don't know, staff expiration on the CUP and to come back for the reconsideration. Would that sound, I guess, the right language there, Vanessa?
Yeah, we would add, we would transmit to the council that if you all approve, that commission is recommending that it would only be for 3 years, so there would be a 3-year expiration date.
Okay. I would add that to the conditions.
I have a question on that though. Let's just say that it goes through. In the 3 years that he has to come back, does he stop? Does he, like, this business stop? He stops doing business until it gets approved? Because we tend to take
Well,
very long to do those things.
once it expires, he would no longer be authorized under the code to operate that business,
he
right?
come
So
before?
he would, I mean, ideally, he should stop, but no one is gonna go out there and lock the door, so he would just be exposed to citation if he doesn't come back.
In theory, if you're putting an expiration on it, then that entails him having to come back to reapply.
So
He would have to
question,
come back.
as an option, would he be able to come back like 6 months prior to the expiration, which is normally what I've been seeing that it takes to get a permit or something done, like, would
Well,
he be able to come?
It takes 2.5 months.
Okay,
If it goes through perfectly, with no delays, nobody tables,
so maybe coming coming back 3 months to reapply before it expires? Is that an
Yeah.
option for him? 'Cause I
Absolutely,
think that's
yes.
something we would have to explain.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to approve, the CUP with adding the condition as discussed with staff.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Barron and a second by Commissioner Cantu. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. So also the recommendation for the conditional use permit has been recommended for approval. Okay? Yeah, we're now moving on to item 13A, which is discussion and possible action to reschedule the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting dates for the month of January 2026, the second and fourth Thursday.
Just to be clear, it's for the 2026.
Oh.
Not next month.
Okay.
January, a year from now.
A year from now.
Yeah, a year from now.
Okay.
Got it.
Question.
I do have a question,
Yes.
or comment for the commission and staff. I know we've been, we were talking about, and the Parks Department had brought forward to us the fees for the parks. The impact fees or development fees. You know, like I addressed the last meeting, we met with the Parks Board and some of the Parks Board members, and we tried to go over some of the items, but again, it was gonna be lengthy as far as those meetings, and at that time, some of the developers and engineers were also in attendance at that point. From what I understood in previous ordinance and ordinance amendments, the department, I guess, that was leading the ordinance amendment would meet with, like the previous park ordinance. They met with the developers, they had several meetings with them, and then they brought it forward to the commission. So, I would hope that possibly the Parks Board and the development community can start those meetings again, kind of hash out everything amongst the Parks Board and development community, and then bring it to the P and Z.
Okay.
So do I need to make that into a motion, or would you relay that message to the parks? Because I know.
Yeah, we can relay that message. Again, that's another department, and
Right.
you know, we can't direct staff from another department.
Right.
But we can certainly relay to that department what was said here with regard to your.
Right, because I don't want it to stay stagnant because of this commission, right? I want it to move forward based on what we would hope would happen, right? Which is get the development community in with the Parks Board.
We were under the understanding that the subcommittee had been formed, and the subcommittee was meeting with the department, and I'm assuming in conjunction.
We have one meeting, and then there was other meetings, and some people could make it, some people couldn't. So I think it's best, my recommendation would be for the Parks Board.
So is the motion of because the commission was formed by
Right.
a vote.
Right.
So is it the will of the commission that the subcommittee be dissolved and no longer serve the function to review that ordinance, or, because that was the,
Well, it's not an item we can actually take action on since it's not on the
That's
agenda,
correct.
so.
it's not on the agenda,
But we,
but,
it would just be a recommendation that we bring that up as an item for our next, meeting. So we
We
have
can-
this discussion on those subcommittees and whether we want to dissolve them or go forward with them.
you can certainly do that.
Yeah.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, that'd be probably the
I'll
best thing.
second that.
Oh, we can't take any action.
Oh,
No
okay.
action. No action.
All right, no action, comment.
So I guess the item that's on here is to move the 2026, the year 2026 January meetings to the second and fourth Thursday for that month.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
So we have a motion.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Barron, all in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Before we adjourn, any director's comments?
Yes, I do. As you can see, we run across this very unfortunate circumstance where members of the public they purchase property that they are, once they're there, they find difficult to use because of the zoning and other restrictions. So we just wanted to take a quick moment to remind the public, please come by our offices, give us a call.
Consult a
Give
professional
us a
realtor.
call to.
Consult a professional
To
realtor.
please, check before they purchase, before they sign that contract, before they, put that down payment, just to make sure that they can use their, the property for the purpose that they have in mind. So that's, and I think I'll probably just mention that ever so often. One of the other things, we're very, very happy to introduce our new planner. Vanessa Fresnillo comes to us. If you want to stand up so that we can all,
Welcome.
so we're very, very happy to have her. She is going to be working with our plating team. So we expect great things out of Ms. Fresnillo. The other thing is that the city wishes, we would like to sincerely extend our sincere thankfulness and great gratitude to the board for your service. It is, as everybody knows, it's not a paid position, and it does require a lot of dedication and effort, and we thank you most sincerely. The city couldn't do it without, the dedicated service of our community members like you. And with that, we just want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and happy holiday season. Thanks again. And that's it for me.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay.
Before that, hey Avery, hi, Grampy says hi.
Hey, there you go.
My granddaughter's watching, at home, and so
Oh,
she, close her and say hello.
Give her a shout out.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
We have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Commissioner Barone, all in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. We're adjourned.